Good evening to each and everyone. I am Farah Batingalo, and for today's evening, I'll be going to discuss about the dengue fever. So thank you very much for giving time to listen in this discussion. So before going into our proper discussion, let me state first my objectives for today's presentation. Next, please. So my first objectives that I set here is to first to discuss what is dengue fever. The second one is to discuss what is the causes of dengue fever. The third one is to discuss what are the symptoms of dengue fever. And last but not the least is to discuss what are the things she or he need to do if he or she has dengue fever. So without further ado, let's do begin our proper discussions. Next, please. So, what is dengue fever? So, allow me to define what is dengue fever. Dengue fever is a viral infection transmitted to you. Very much aware that a dengue is causes niya is a bite of a mosquito. So that's why we should eradicate or to vanish the stagnant water in our home and in our barangay so that walang maiitlogan yung mga mosquito. So the primary vectors that transmit the disease are Aedes aegypti mosquitoes and to a lesser extent I albopictus. The virus responsible for causing dengue is called dengue virus or DENV. So next please. So, severe dengue is a leading cause of serious illness and death in some Asian and Latin American countries. So, we should not binabasta-basta lang yung dengue just because isang bite lang siya ng mosquito, ibabastahin lang natin. No, because if we will not if we have the symptoms of early symptoms of having this kind of this infection, so hindi dapat natin siya binabasta because maaari siyang magdulot ng kamatayan sa isang tao if left untreated siya. So it requires management by medical professionals. There is no specific treatment for dengue or severe dengue. So the DOH is still finding the best cure for this kind of infection para mas mapadali yung treatment niya. Early detection of disease progression associated with severe dengue and access to proper medical care lowers fatality rates of severe dengue to below 1%. So if you think that if you feel na I think I have dengue or meron ka nang napapansin sa sarili mo ng mga symptoms or early warning, so it is very advisable for you to consult into the doctor and go to hospital. So next please. So let's go forward into the symptoms of dengue fever. So the first one is the mild symptoms of dengue fever can be confused with other illnesses that causes fever, aches and pain or a rash. The most common symptom of dengue is fever with any of the following. So the very first symptoms of a dengue is magkakalagnat yung isang tao. So ang kasunod nito is nausea, vomiting. So, maaaring yung isang tao is nahihilo or nagsusuka, rashes, aches and pain, eye pain, typically behind the lower, uh, behind the eye, muscles, joint, or bone pain. So, any warning signs, so we should not neglect those early signs so that we can we can have this early treatment para maiwasan natin yung severe dengue. Symptoms of dengue typically last 2 to 7 days. Most people will recover after about a week. So kung hindi man talaga mag-recover about 2 to 7 days, so it is advisable for you to consult a doctor. So wag mong hayaang lumala pa kay before mo i-treat. So, we should always remember that prevention is better than cure. So, next, please. So, treatment for dengue fever. So, as I said earlier, there is no yet a talagang treatment for dengue, but here are some tips that you can use para, or you can do para mas malasen yung infection. So if you think you have dengue, see a healthcare provider. If you develop a fever or have symptoms of dengue, tell him or her about your travel. Rest as much as possible. So, if you think or if you feel or napapansin mo na yung mga symptoms ng dengue sa'yo, so rest as much as possible. Magpahinga ka. Take take acetaminophen, also known as paracetamol outside of the United States. So, paracetamol, madaming paracetamol like Biogesic or many other. So, to control fever and relieve pain. So, do not advisable for you to take this kind of medicine if you have a dengue, or if you think that meron ka ng dengue na meron ng symptoms ng dengue na napapansin sa sarili mo. Drink plenty of fluids to stay hydrated. So it is very advisable for us to drink 8 glasses of water a day, so para hindi tayo ma-dehydrate. So for mild symptoms, care for a sick infant, child, or family member at home. So that's the end of my discussion. I am hoping that you learned something from this evening lesson. So thank you everyone and good night. Enjoy the rest of the night. Thank